We had Gregory Rodrigues versus Chidi Njokuani.
This was the hardest one for me to pick going into this.
Njokuani, take your AirPods out, huh?
Yeah.
For the face-off? Come on, man.
Yeah. What are we doing? But this was the hardest one for me to pick because like both these guys crack, and in the UFC at least we haven't really seen Chidi get tested. So I was like, man, RoboCop's gonna test him. What's that gonna look like? And I ended up picking Chidi just because he's he hits so damn hard. But I should have went with my gut because RoboCop tested him and he failed the test.
So you have Rodrigues going in for an early takedown attempt, right?
Yeah.
Rodrigues. And
RoboCop.
He gets caught with a nasty knee. Perfect timing there, Rich.
Dude, how about this? He said, this is how nasty it was. Obviously, we'll see the aftermath of how nasty it was.
Third eye.
Yeah, but he said going into this, game plan was take him down jiu-jitsu, take him down jiu-jitsu, take him down jiu-jitsu. This was the only takedown. It was right away, and it's the only time he tried it. After this knee, he was like, fuck that game plan.
Time out. You know what? Ruben just said, please show the Rodrigues cut. Somebody else, not just the doctor from yesterday, but somebody else showed up today and chose violence, and that's Ruben, who wants to see all the violence in the world and all the aftermath. Hilarious.
Yeah. Is the next picture the aftermath?
I'm not sure. Rich is going to let us know before he puts it on, I think, because I think there's another picture where
it's worth a warning.
Rodrigues ends up landing some shots himself, man. And the thing is, Njokuani is known to blitz and try to get him out of there as soon as he knows he has him hurt. It's worked for him in the past, right? Mm-hmm. But this is another case, I think, of where take just a split second. Take a second to see how hurt your opponent is, because Rodrigues got caught with that nasty knee, but he was still there, man. He was still staring down Njokuani. He still had his guard up. He was taking steps back, and Njokuani runs in and tries to head kick him, and he slips in the process. Yeah. And Rodrigues is like, "Oh, thanks, man," and he starts coming forward with his own shots, and caught Njokuani off guard and landed some big shots of his own. But this, I think, would have been a perfect opportunity for Njokuani to approach it more strategically, more measured.
Because you saw it in the last fight, RoboCop's last fight against the Cuban Missile Crisis, Julian Marquez, where he cracked him early. RoboCop was hurt, and then they both just went to war until RoboCop put him out. So it's like, when you hurt this guy, do not swarm him for the finish. You have to stay patient and crack this guy, because if you go in there, try to put him out like that, like, that's the firefight. That's where he will win. He will win those matches. Doesn't matter if he's hurt. So
absolutely.
How about this guy's got 6 UFC fights already? I feel like he just started. This is his 6th fight.
Super active, man.
Yeah, his only loss was a controversial split decision against Armen Petrosyan.
So let's see here. He just fought yesterday. He fought in June. He fought in February. So he's fought 3 times already this year.
Yeah, his UFC debut was May of last year, and he's fought 6 times.
We'll see how long before he can fight again, because he did take some damage off that knee.
I did want to show the aftermath. The fans are clamoring for, but I wanted to warn before, not during. So this one's a little. I think it's worse than Song Yudong. So
it's much worse.
Thanks for the warning there, Rich.
Yeah, no problem.
And there it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad, dude. Worst cut in UFC history?
Did you see Rich wincing before he hopped off camera?
Worst cut in UFC history?
At least that I can remember.
It's the worst cut in UFC history.
It's pretty bad. Oh, there we go, Ruben. You wanted it, man.
You asked for it.
Yeah. Are you not entertained?
Did you see?
And look at the smile on his face. It looks like his forehead's frowning on the cut because of the way it's cut, and then he's smiling.
It's a mirror. It's a mirror of his smile. I think. Let's see.
I hope we don't get
really
taken down because of this.
No, we won't. And speaking of wincing, Rich, I'm gonna put a image in the private chat right now, if you want to pull it up for me. But I think RoboCop is quickly becoming must watch. Every time this guy fights, it is an absolute banger. Even the Armin fight, the Petrosian fight, where it was a split decision. It was a competitive, fun kickboxing match. This guy he's must watch.
I enjoy watching him fight.
His last two fights are insane. And he
I know
said
he's
before,
built solid, and I know that he looks extremely athletic, but when I see him, I don't see killer written all over him. I don't know what it is. Something about his face, I'm just like, this is a nice guy.
Yeah, and it's weird because he talks after the fight where he's just like so calm about it. He's like, dude, you have the worst cut in UFC history on your forehead, and he's like, yeah, thanks to the UFC, the greatest company. I just want to fight the toughest guy. And you're like, bro, can we get this guy backstage?
Your forehead's blinking. Your forehead's blinking while I talk to you.
There's another picture. I don't think you added it. I hope. I don't think that's the one that I don't think we can show, where it's the actual doctor backstage working on it. Yeah, DC after interviewing him.
That's Rich right there.
Yeah, but it's such a
they're looking spot on.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
man.
That picture with the doctor's kind of opening it a little bit, you can see an artery that's as big as like an HDMI cable, and it's running down.
Is that an artery?
It's an artery, dude.
I thought it was like a draining tube or something.
And that's no. It's a tube of blood, and the doctor goes in there, and he opened it to look and make sure the fight can continue after, and he was like, if it gets worse, let me know. Could you imagine if that artery got like elbowed or something? Like what happens there?
What's worse than that? Like how much worse? But this is where I'm saying Mark Smith. So after the ref told him that, the next round, the entire time, he puts himself in position to be staring at Rodrigues the entire time and just staring at his forehead.
Only watching that.
And so just fantastic job by Mark Smith, man. He's quietly becoming one of my favorite refs.
He's number 2, I think. Maybe number 3 for me. Mark Goddard's really good too, but him and Mark Goddard are fighting for the number 2 spot, I think.
They're so good.
Ruben says the doctor could have walked in and looked around that cut. Yeah, he could have hopped in there and checked it out from the inside. But yeah, RoboCop, despite that happening in the first round, he won the first round on 2 judges' scorecards. And then, just tossed him down in the second and broke him. Chidi. And he said that before. He was like, even if I lose this fight, I'm taking Chidi with me. It's like, God damn. And I believe it. This dude's a savage. Yeah.
Yeah, he's holding on to him while he's drowning, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my God. All right.
And middleweight needs this guy because middleweight is bad. It's real bad.
Yeah. He's an exciting fighter. Like I said, when I first saw him, didn't really see it, but now that I've watched 3 or 4 of his fights here recently, like you said, he's must watch.
He's must watch. Chidi coming in to this fight on a 2-fight knockout streak, gets finished. Almost gets the knockout in the first, but gets finished. They weren't ranked, but do you think RoboCop jumps into that top 15 with this one?
Oh, got to.
That's six fights in the UFC. 5 wins and 1 split decision loss. That's pretty damn good.
5 wins and 6 fights is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I say get him up there, man. Mix it up.
Mix
it up.
Brad Tavares is ranked 14. Chris Curtis is 15. Chris Curtis coming off the loss. I can see that fight.
Don't toss. Yeah, but don't toss Chris Curtis at him yet.
No,
man.
Chris Curtis just left hooks him all day.
I want to see these guys ascend together. Hey everybody, Ramiro and Will here. Thank you so much for watching that short clip. It's just a small clip of what we covered this last Sunday.
Yeah, if you want to check out the full fight card recap, the link is in the description, and it's going to be on screen at the end here. Don't forget to go back and watch our fighter interviews that we have. And don't forget to tune in live every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and you can join in on the fun.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It goes a long way. All right, everybody, thanks for watching that short clip from Story of the Fight.